Greetings, fellows. You got it, Bob. In the beginning, the world was empty. Darkness was everywhere. But God had a plan. God separated the light from the darkness. He said, and the light turned on. He called the light day, and he called the darkness night. This was the end of the very first day. Then God said, He separated the waters in the clouds above from the waters in the ocean below. He called the space between them sky. This was the end of the very second day. Next, God rolled back the waters and some dry ground appeared. He made plants of many shapes and colors. He made mountains, hills, and valleys. This was the end of the third day. God put a shiny sun in the sky for the daytime. He put a glowing moon and twinkling stars in the sky for nighttime. This was the end of the fourth day. On the fifth day, God made swishy fish and squiggly creatures to live in the ocean. Then God made birds to fly across the sky on the sixth day. God made animals that creep, crawl, hop, and gallop. And then God made something else that's very important. God created the first man, and that man was called Adam. Then God blew the breath of life right into Adam. God looked over everything and was happy. On the seventh day, God rested. Now God wanted Adam to live in the most wonderful place that could ever be. So God planted a beautiful garden for Adam to live in. It was called the Garden of Eden. God made a great river run through the garden, and then split the river into 4 great rivers called the Pishon, the Gihon, the Tigris, and the Euphrates. Adam had all the animals for company in the garden. Adam's first job was to name all the animals. There were many animals to name. Adam grew very tired of trying to decide what to call each one now. God looked down on Adam sleeping there in the garden, and Adam looked very alone. So God decided that Adam needed a companion, someone to be with. God decided it was time to make another person, so God created a woman. And so, Adam and Eve lived very happily in the Garden of Eden until one day. God put some angels at the entrance to the garden, and one of them had a flaming sword, so Adam and Eve could never come back. But even though Adam and Eve had disobeyed God, even though they had to leave the garden, God still loved them, and thus began Adam and Eve's new life outside of the garden. From then on, life was filled with joy and sadness and good things and bad things. But even though they could never go back to the garden, God did not abandon Adam and Eve. God always watched over them wherever they went, forever after.